Alright, so this is the demo for how to detail a portrait. As you can see, I have pulled out my reference image and put it underneath my flat colors for my portrait. And I'm using, once again, my pulled in face to pull the darkness from. I'm darkening in the eyebrows and putting in the basic shadow work in accordance to looking at the reference. And on the flat color layer, I went ahead and put in eyes, and then both in the whites of the eyes and the grays of his gray eyes. And I took a sample of his lips, and on the flat color layer, I just kind of glazed those in with a glazing brush because there should be some transparency there. Now I'm just kind of filling in the basic shadow work around the jaw, underneath the beard, on the side of the neck, underneath the chin. Not being too precise with it because I'm going to come back with darker colors and add some precision later. So now I'm taking the liner brush and I'm filling in more detail with the eyes. Don't worry about leaving a white spot because we're going to put that in on the highlight layer. Filling in some of the darker shades around the eyes and the eyelashes. Erased away the outside edge of the eyebrow drawing, and now I'm flecking in hairs that overlap in the eyebrows. Now if you look at it, I'm making my strokes in the directions that the hairs are going and making them denser where the hair is darker and darker or lighter, letting more of the skin show through where it's not. I'm just putting in some details in the mouth now, shading in the upper lip, and I'm stroking in the beard in the same way that I did the eyebrows. I'm on that shadow layer. So I'm just paying close attention to the reference and looking at where the hair is denser and kind of the direction that the hair flows in. Taking the opportunity to darken the crease between the lips. Now the hair is definitely changing directions as it goes through the cheek, and I'm deleting away kind of the lines that aren't really working for me in the drawing. You know, we don't really want outlines around hair. Filling in where it's darker along the edge of the jaw. Right now I'm going with a darker purple, and I'm calling it accent color, and this is going to give more depth to the face. You know, you can use different colors for accent color. Some people use a dark red. I personally like purple because it kind of shows the blue of the blood vessels underneath the skin. And I'm using this to really deepen my shadows. Both underneath the eyebrows, you know, underneath the chin. Alright, now at this point I'm taking a sample of the brightest highlight on the face that I've imported, and I'm just putting in some general highlights across the surface where I see them on the reference. If it gets a little rough, you can use one of the blending tools to blend it out. Putting in highlights through the chin, through the cheek, through the ear, and big broad highlights through the neck and shoulders. I'm going to blend that out a little bit too. Now I'm putting in brighter highlights using more of a straight white. Dotting in the hot spot on the eye. Great thing about having the highlights on a whole other layer is, as you can see, I kind of made a mistake in the corner of the eye that I'm going to come back and correct. There we go, fix that, make it a little bit more angular, putting in some reflected light underneath the nose, and some more detailed light on the lips. And I'm just using a liner brush on a fairly wide width to kind of get some more direct painted accents. Alright, so now I'm laying in with the glaze brush some basic hair shadowing, and then coming back with the liner brush to kind of pull out some specific hairs kind of laying across the forehead. Then I'm going to take a sample of his hair, and once again using that wider brush, put in basic highlights, and then coming in with liner brush and getting in there with finer details and finer hairs. That's why it's good to have the highlight layer on top.